Hello guys, in my previous videos I have explained about mesh analysis. So in that video I told you that we have two powerful analysis or two powerful techniques. The first one is mesh analysis and the next one is what? Nodal analysis. By using these two analysis you can find some unknown parameter in the circuit. Suppose here I have given a circuit. Now it is very important that which analysis is more appropriate to apply in order to find unknown parameter in the given circuit. Either it is a mesh analysis or it is a nodal analysis. For identifying that, I told you one rule. If any given circuit is having more number of voltage sources than the current sources, then you can apply what? Mesh analysis. For example, see here how many voltage sources you have? Two voltage sources and current sources are 0. Therefore, you can apply what? Mesh analysis. This is what point number A. And what is point number B? So if you want to apply mesh analysis, the circuit should be what? A planar circuit, not a circuit should be what? Planar circuit. For non-planar circuit, you cannot apply mesh analysis. Planar circuit means what? You can draw a circuit on a plane surface without any crossover. See here in this circuit, you don't have any crossover. Therefore, it is a planar circuit. And of course, you have more number of voltage sources, then you can apply mesh analysis. Now, if any circuit is having more number of current sources than the voltage sources, then you can apply what? Nodal analysis. Okay, clear. So I told you that how to apply mesh analysis. Okay, and also we solved some problems, right? So first you need to understand that how many loops you have. Loop is nothing but what? A closed circuit. So how many closed circuits you have? Three closed circuits. Clear. So if you have three closed circuits, you will get how many linear equations? Three linear equations. 1, 2, 3. So if you apply KVL in loop 1, you will get equation 1, and apply KVL in loop 2, then you will get equation 2. Apply KVL in loop 3, then you will get equation 3. You know about KVL, right? The algebraic sum of all branch voltages in a closed loop is equal to 0. Suppose if I apply KVL in this loop 1, what happened? We need the each branch voltages including source. Now this is a voltage source, but what is the voltage here? V1. And what is the voltage at R1? As per Ohm's law, you will write V equal to IR, then you will know the voltage at R1. Now what is the voltage at R4? See, I1 current is flowing here and I2 current is flowing there. So if you apply KVL in loop 1, you will write minus R4 equal to I1 minus I2. This is what? The voltage at R4. Yes or no? So by using this, you can find what? I1 loop current and I2 loop current and I3 loop current. And I told you how to find I1, I2 by using what? The Cramer's rule. So I1 equal to what? Delta I1 by delta, and I2 equal to delta I2 by delta, and I3 equal to delta I3 by delta. This is we have discussed in our previous class. Now here what I am going to explain is super mesh analysis. What is the difference between mesh and super mesh analysis? For example, see here, I am telling you that you need to find mesh current for this given circuit. Now, what is the difference here? So, is it a planar circuit or non-planar circuit? Yes, it is a planar circuit. Okay, clear. Then how many loops we have? Loop is nothing but what? Closed circuit. Three closed circuits. Therefore, you will get three different equations. 1, 2, 3. Clear. Now see here what happened if you apply mesh analysis to this particular circuit. Now see here, now as you have three loops, you need to consider three loop currents, I1, and this is what? I2, and this is what? I3. That means I1 is flowing in loop 1, I2 current is flowing in loop 2, I3 current is flowing in loop 3. The current direction may be clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction, it's up to you. Now what you have to do, apply KVL in loop 1. So you know KVL, when you apply KVL, you need each branch voltage and that sum is equal to 0. Okay, now what is the voltage at this branch? Of course, this is what? Plus V. Now the current is flowing in this direction from right to left. Okay, therefore here this is plus to minus. Yes or no? Therefore here minus, what is voltage? V equal to what? IR. Therefore what current is flowing? I1 current is flowing, and here is R1. Now here I1 current is coming in this direction and I2 current is going in the opposite direction. Therefore minus R2 I1 minus I2. You know how to write this one. We have learned from our mesh analysis, right? Now see, when you come to the current source here, and what would be the voltage? What you have to written here? See, do you know voltage at this current source? You don't know. Or if you want to find that, you need to assume the voltage is what? V. Then you have to find V, and then you have to find loop current I1, I2, I3. Then see, it is very difficult to apply mesh analysis to this particular circuit. Now what we need to do? So if you have any current source, if you have any current source in any branch, okay, then it is very difficult to apply mesh analysis. Then you have to go for super mesh analysis. Either this current source may be here, or maybe here, or maybe here, anywhere in the circuit. If you have a current source, then it is very difficult to apply mesh analysis. Then you have to apply what? Super mesh analysis. This is extension of mesh to super mesh. Clear? Now this is not going to work out, the mesh is not going to work out. Then what we have to do? Super mesh. Then how to apply super mesh analysis to this particular circuit? Clear? Now see, this particular current source is adjacent of what? Two nodes, I1 and I2 node. Yes or no? This particular current source is common with what? Two nodes, I1 node and I2 node. Then here, no, loop 1 and loop 2, this current source is what? Adjacent to the loop 1 and loop 2. So by using loop 1 and loop 2, you need to form what? Super mesh. Okay, you need to form super mesh. Because see, if I apply KVL here, what happened? So when you come to this current source, you don't know what is voltage. Now if you apply KVL in loop 2, what happened? So you know voltage at R3, you know voltage at R4, you know voltage at R2, but when you come to the current, once again you don't know what voltage. Then what you have to do? You have to form super mesh by using loop 1 and loop 2. So what is super mesh? See here, so 1 and 2, by using here, this is what? A super mesh. This is what? Super mesh. Okay, so here you have a current source. You should not consider this entire branch. Okay, so this I and R2 you should not consider. So, and you need to apply what? KVL to the super mesh. If I apply KVL to the super mesh, what happened? This minus to plus. Okay, plus, and here see, what current is flowing at R1? I1 current is flowing. So this is plus V minus. So what is the voltage at R1? I1 R1. So here you should not consider this R2 and current. Then you have to come to what? R3. So as per loop 2, what current is flowing? I2 current is flowing. So this is what? Plus to minus. Therefore minus. Here this is what? R3 and I2. This is what? Voltage at R3. Now you have to come to here. As per loop 2, what current is flowing at R4? I2 and I3. The both are in opposite direction. Therefore this is what? Minus R4. And here see, this is I2 minus I3. Okay, because two currents are flowing. Then you have to go to this what? Here, wherever you started, you have to end at that particular place. Therefore this is equal to 0, and this is my equation 1. What I did, I cannot apply KVL in loop 1 because of current source, and I cannot apply KVL in loop 2 because of this current source. Therefore I form a super mesh by using loop 1 and loop 2. So super mesh means I should not consider the branch. So here we have current source and R2. You should not consider this entire branch. Okay, now the remaining is what? Super mesh. Now I need to apply KVL to this super mesh. So if I apply KVL, I started at voltage source, then I have to travel like this. So accept this entire branch. Then I get what? Equation 1. Then can I apply KVL in loop 3? Of course, you can apply KVL in loop 3 because you don't have any current source. Then if I apply KVL in this loop 3 as per I3, this is what? Plus to minus. Therefore, minus, what is the voltage at R4? R4, how many currents are flowing? Two currents, I3 and I2 in the opposite direction. Therefore, I3 minus I2. And here, as per current I3, this is plus and minus R5 and I3 equal to what? 0. And you don't have any branch. See, this is our equation 2. Then see, as you have considered three loop currents, I1, I2, I3. So if you want to find I1, I2, I3, how many equations you need? Three equations, but you get only two equations, I1 and I2. Then how to get the third equation? By using this current source itself, you will get what? The third equation. See, here we have current source I. Okay, the current source I is the differences between what? Two mesh currents, I1 and I2. So here I should write I1 minus I2. So this current source is equal to the differences between I1 minus I2. So why I have written I1 minus I2? Why I2 minus I1? Suppose see here, this I1 current is same as what? The source current, yes or no? Therefore, I should consider I1 minus I2 equal to I. For example, if I2 current is same as source current, then you should write I2 minus I1 equal to 0. Okay. Now see, by using equation 1, equation 2, equation 3, you can find I1, I2 and I3 by using what? Cramer's rule. So you know how to find I1 and I2 by using Cramer's rule, right? Now the same thing here, super mesh, I am going to explain another problem. Suppose see, is it a planar circuit? Yes, it is a planar circuit. Then you can apply what? Super mesh analysis. Okay, clear. So you can apply mesh or super mesh is only for what? Planar circuit. Then see how many loops you have? 3 loops. Consider loop current. So this is I1 clockwise direction, I2 clockwise direction, I3 clockwise direction. Now if I apply KVL in loop 1, what happened? I get equation 1. Okay, so you know how to write it, right? So minus to plus V, and here this is plus to minus I1 R1, and here this is what? Plus to minus, and two currents are flowing, therefore R2 I1 minus I2 equal to 0. This is our equation 1. And if I apply KVL in loop 2, what happened? Here you have a current source, but you don't know what is voltage at current source. Then you cannot apply KVL in loop 2. Then if I apply KVL in loop 3, once again here see current source is involving, then I cannot apply KVL in loop 3. Then what I need to do? I need to form a super mesh by using what? By using loop 2 and loop 3. Why loop 2 and loop 3? Because this current source is adjacent of loop 2 and loop 3. Therefore, by using loop 2 and loop 3, I have to form super mesh. So how to form super mesh? See here, I should not consider this entire branch. So, and remaining is what? Super mesh. This is total is what? Super mesh. Then if I apply KVL in this super mesh, suppose I need to start somewhere. For example, I'm starting where? At R2. Then as per this, what current is flowing? I2 and I1, right? So to this R2, I2 current, I1 current is flowing. Therefore here, see, plus and minus. Therefore this is minus R2, and what current is flowing? I2 minus I1. Clear. Then here, as per loop 2, what current is flowing? I2 only. Therefore here R3 and I2. Shall I go towards R4 and I? No. We should not go towards this branch because we are not considering this in order to consider super mesh. Now you have to go to R5. As per loop 3, what current is flowing here? I3 current. Therefore minus R5 and I3 equal to 0. This is my equation 2. See, I have started here and I went R3, R5, and here you don't have any branch, then I return to R2. Okay, clear. This is way This is the procedure to apply what? KVL to our super mesh. Then see, we have 3 loops, but you get only 2 equations. Then how to get the third equation? The current source. From the current source you should get. So the current source is equal to what? The differences between two mesh currents. For example, here I is equal to, should I write I2 minus I3 or I3 minus I2? So here current direction is what? Going downside, and I2 is also coming down, right? But whereas I3 is going what? Up, opposite direction. Okay. Now you need to write what? I2 minus I3, because I2 current direction and current source direction both are same. So therefore I2 minus I3 equal to I. So I is what? A constant, maybe 2 ampere, 5 amperes, they will give in the problem. Therefore this is our equation 3, and from this equation 1, 2, 3 you can find I1, I2, I3 by using Cramer's rule. Now see, in this circuit how many loops you have? 3 loops. Of course it is a planar circuit. Then you can apply super mesh. Can I apply mesh analysis? No, because you have what? Current source. You cannot apply mesh. You can apply super mesh. So here, as we have 3 loops, I consider I1 and I consider I2 and I consider I3. Can I apply KVL in loop 1? No, because you have current source. Now see, from this current source, can I write I1 equal to I? Why? Previously you have current source is equal to difference between two loops. Okay, two loop current, two mesh currents. But here this I1 is what? Not sharing to any loop current, right? So therefore I1 equal to I. This is my equation 1. If you apply KVL in loop 2, then you will get equation 2. If you apply KVL in loop 3, then you will get equation 3. Once if you solve 1, 2, 3 equation, you can find I1, I2, I3 by using Cramer's rule. This is all about super mesh analysis. In the next video, we are going to solve few problems on super mesh analysis. Okay, thank you.